All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ball Hawks podcast. We are here on this Sunday, American Thanksgiving weekend. So happy belated Thanksgiving to our friends down south on Thursday there. Always one of my favorite days. I get to have football on in the background while I work. But if my employers are listening, I absolutely do not do that.
I was working. I swear I was working.
I mean, I let the kids in at lunch and break, and we all watch football together. It's lots of fun. Get to see a bunch of kids I don't normally get to hang out with at school. I'm your host, Steve Fisher. You can find me on Twitter, like it says. It doesn't actually say it on the little strip ticker thing, at ssfisher87. And I'm joined this week, you guessed it. Last week, we called him something different. This week, we're calling him, and I know he's going to like this one because we've talked about it, the Rocket Raccoon of the show, Chris Phillips. What's happening today, dude?
That is a good one. I would have appreciated Groot as well, because at least I would have had a go-to line for Groot. Rocket Raccoon, I don't have a go-to line, but I at least know who it is. So I'll take that as a small victory. Yeah.
Both my opinions on Groot, so there was no way I was giving you Groot, and even just saying his name is just want to punch that stupid tree in the head.
I am Groot.
Ooh.
Well, my kids will disagree with you because my kids love Groot. Actually, Olivia wore a Groot t-shirt to school on Friday, which she's quickly outgrowing, and unfortunately we can't pass it down to Carter because it's one of those, it's a girl cut t-shirt. You know what I mean? So can't pass that one down to Carter, which is unfortunate. Nope. Well, yeah. He's too big in the shoulders. Happy to be back for another week of the Ball Hawks podcast. We're going live again. Surprise, everybody, because we didn't post anything about it all day. How can you tell that Chris and Steve were busy today? But we are, of course, a part of the Dean Blundell Network. You can find me over on Twitter at PhillipsChris12. Don't forget to follow the podcast account at ballhawks_pod. And he may have said it, but I wasn't listening. So don't forget to follow Steve at ssfisher87. I did hear him say something about not being able to see it, so I'll at least fix it so he can see his own name again, so he doesn't forget who he is and where.
Which one am I here?
Where am I? Here, does that help?
Whoa. Here. Now I'm just dizzy. How many
what just happened?
Yeah.
How was your weekend, Steve?
It was good.
Yep.
Just busy time of the year. 150,000 different things to do, and just a few hours to do it. So sleep hits the back corner. What about you?
Yeah. I was off on Thursday. I didn't watch very much Thanksgiving football because I was, again, busy just being a dad. I had a dentist appointment and yada yada. Friday I had physio and took Carter to do some Christmas shopping, and then did some more Christmas shopping today. So just, yeah, busy. I don't know if you noticed, I just corrected it, but did you notice how crooked my picture was behind me?
For a few weeks now.
That has been for a few weeks. You know what it is?
Yeah, I was going to say something, and I'm like, let's see how long we can get this going for.
Yeah, apparently I just noticed, but you know what it is? It's like, it must go crooked because of us walking upstairs. I'm going to blame my kids and not my fat ass. Yeah, it's my kids' fault.
Classic. Blame everything on the kids.
No. So wait, so you have the ability to watch football? Like, you have cable TV at work?
Well, I have DAZN.
Gotcha.
I log in.
Gotcha.
I mean, anybody with like Telus Optic on the go and stuff like that could probably watch it as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Where there's a will, there's a way. There's always a free stream somewhere. I'm assuming. I got tired of the free streams.
Yeah, you know what I can't watch on my Optic app? College football.
Oh,
cannot do it.
Like,
I was trying to turn on.
You can't, or you're just like, I won't.
No, It won't
Oh.
allow me. Yeah, it won't allow me. Because I was going to turn on. I think I was going to turn on like I want to say Alabama game when I
Yep.
was at work. I was at work yesterday. I was like, oh, like sounds like this Alabama game's getting pretty exciting. Like I should probably log in and see what's going on. And
Yeah.
wasn't able to.
I'm just really happy that I wanted to go hunting last night or all day yesterday, because that mixed with this Ravens game that I'm going to talk about today, I may have actually had a heart attack. This is the season to do it.
Any success?
No success.
Just a lovely hike again.
Unsuccessful.
Yeah.
We got a busy, lots of stuff to pack in, a lot of fun little clips, or what I'm going to say fun. So let's get right into it. The first one, I have not seen this one, so I'm really excited to see this live on air for the first time. You had texted me earlier. The one thing you did see about football today was a massive Kirk Cousins blunder. Do you want to explain that one?
Yeah. So I didn't. Really funny. I actually didn't see this live because this is one of the few bits of football that I did get to witness live today. So my morning consisted of waking up. I played some Madden with my daughter's at swimming lessons. Wife gets home with the daughter. I run out the door to go grocery shopping right as like the morning games are kicking off. I get home from grocery shopping. I feed myself lunch, run back out the door to take my daughter Christmas shopping because she wanted to buy her best friend a Christmas present, which is pretty cool. She spent her own money on it, so I'm pretty proud of her for doing that.
Nice.
But anyways, through all of that, I did manage to catch a little bit of the Vikings and 49ers game. And I was watching kind of closely because I was hoping the 49ers would lose. But I somehow missed Kirk Cousins on 4th and goal lining up behind his right guard. Can't be. Here's the clip.
Defense has been up and down as far as defending the run and defending that 49ers offense. So you look for the points here and try to tie the game up.
Play clock winding down and a timeout taken by Minnesota.
I love how at the start of the clip, he's pointing at the guys like, go here, get in position. And then he lines up behind his right guard and doesn't even realize it. Like Alexander Madison has to come up and like grab him and be like, Kirk, one step to your left, bud.
Yeah.
Like,
that's my favorite part of it, like running up and like grabbing him by the hips, being like, no, wrong guy. Like, let's go. Maybe he needs maybe the center needs like a red patch on their bum or something like that. So it's like, quarterback, go here. Just in Minnesota.
No, don't make it red or brown. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's a little weird, but like some sort of, I don't know, neon
make it
yellow.
Team color or something. Make it purple.
It just like stands out. He's like, oh yeah, there's the butt I'm looking for. Okay, I got to run up there.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe that would have helped.
Sort of all over the place, and he's guiding 10 other guys all over the field, and he has less than 8 seconds to do it. But you should probably know who your center is. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when you're especially when you are like, if you're the backup quarterback coming in for a play because the starter got hurt and you make that sort of blunder, a little more forgivable. When you're the starting quarterback getting paid $80 million, yeah, you should know where you're going.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe that patch on the butt would have helped Mark Sanchez once upon a time.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't run into this one.
Avoid that butt.
That's my team. The other really fun one, I sent this to you and you hadn't seen it until just before we jumped on, but Vita Vea of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, somehow, I didn't watch the whole play, but somehow his mask kind of gets up, his chin strap is kind of up by his nose, and the play is still going, and he gets crowned in the face, and you see a big old tooth come flying out. Do you have that one?
I do.
Here. Oh, he lost a tooth. And he's smiling. That was my best part. Oh my gosh. Does the tooth fairy?
It's got that good old hockey smile happening. But
that was the first thing I actually thought about was they're making such a big deal of it, and I'm like, You know how many times this happens in a hockey season and it does not get any time of day? Like usually the refs like skate over, pick their tooth up, and go chuck it to the trainer.
Yeah.
Off the ice.
Yeah, they quickly show the clip, like, oh yeah, this is where he lost his teeth, and this is where the ref picks them up, and there he is on the bench with a face mask on because he's still playing the game. Like,
Oh, yeah.
not a big deal. And I did see that one earlier today. I didn't see it live. I just saw the clip of it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And my biggest question was that during live action? Was that after the play? Because like I watched the clip with no sound. Excuse me. Initially, I watched it with no sound. So I was like, what happened there? Like, did Glowinski like just cheap shot Vita Vea, or like did obviously there's some sort of illegal use of the hands to the face happening there. So many questions. No answers.
All you need to know, there was a big man with no front tooth, and I love his reaction. He's just sort of like smiling, like pointing to it, being like, he could probably play hockey. I mean, I don't know if he can skate or not, but he would be a menacing force on the ice if he could skate. Holy.
I would not want to face him. You know who can skate, and I also wouldn't want to face on the ice is JJ Watt.
He can skate.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. He's apparently like he grew up playing hockey. And then when it was like, wait a second, you're really good at football, so you should probably focus on that. He stopped playing hockey. But yeah, if he grew up, I mean, he's from Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. So not that Wisconsin's a hockey hotbed, but it's pretty cold there. So
bet you they have lots of rinks.
Yeah, lots of outdoor rinks.
Well, let's stay in the Watt family here for a second, because there was a play that happened that I wanted to talk about just briefly. His brother TJ Watt of the Pittsburgh Steelers just manhandles, just abuses Joe Burrow. Yeah, roll the clip. We'll talk about it after.
This was another one I saw right before we went live, and I was like, what is going on here?
Let's go. Let's go to Cincinnati here. We have 37 seconds remaining in the first half. Whoa. TJ Watt and Joe Burrow. What are we doing, guys? It's the end of a holiday weekend. My goodness. Okay.
So backstory is apparently Burrow threw an interception, and TJ Watt took it as an opportunity to, rough him up a little bit, maybe just bully him around and push him, shove him, which I will actually commend TJ Watt a little bit on that one. Like, so often defenders, after a quarterback throws an interception, defenders are looking to take the quarterback's head off and absolutely decapitate him. TJ Watt roughing him up and pushing and shoving him, it's pretty harmless in my opinion.
When's the last time you saw a defender actually go at a quarterback who was not actively trying to tackle whoever just picked the ball from them? Can't remember.
Off the top of my head, you're right. I can't remember, but
I think it's one of those things where if a quarterback is trying to make the tackle, all right, fine, go take him out. It shouldn't take that much, but you can clearly see TJ Watt is just taking it upon himself to rough up the franchise quarterback. My biggest question of the whole thing here was, why is that O-line not on his ass right from the start? Like, you don't touch the guy that's going to resurrect this team from the ugly Dalton fall off kind of years. It also really bothers me that you've got this big D end, taking liberties on a quarterback. The NFL has all these rules in place to protect quarterbacks and to make sure they're not getting hit after the whistle and cheap shotted, because the league would suck without good quarterbacks. But you're going to let stuff like that happen where he's just, I don't know, put a bad taste in my mouth. I think TJ Watt's a doofus anyways. So
I have no problem with it. Like I said, I think it's just, I don't know, giving him the business.
Would you be okay if Russ throws an interception and Nick Bosa just beelines it right for Russ every time and just beans him.
I mean, Nick Bosa is a douchebag.
That's why I
but
picked him.
yeah, good choice because you know how much I hate him. Obviously, I'd be mad because he's my franchise quarterback, but at the same time, I'm like, it could be worse. It is, I guess, is how I view that. Like, it could be worse. He could be really roughing him up and, picking him up, throwing him into the ground, or maybe a DB comes in and it's like, hey, nice interception, pops him. Like, it could be worse. It's not.
Starting of it all, though.
What's that?
Could this be the start of it? Like, other guys look at that and they're like, huh. Well, if Watt wasn't getting penalized for it, like, what's stopping our D tackle, our third string D tackle from taking liberties on Tom Brady? He's old. He could go down. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't like it. Like I said, if the quarterback is actively blocking, then you're fair game. A lot of the quarterbacks kind of just sit back and they don't really block. I'm okay with them sort of eliminating themselves from the play. If you're going to block and trying to tackle, if you're going to tackle the guy, then yeah, maybe you should be prepared like any other person on the field does. From a talent perspective, we had something really fun. We had last week that Jonathan Taylor Thomas hit the 5 touchdowns? It was last week, right?
Sure was.
Look at you. Just up on the queue. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast today. But Leonard Fournette of the Buccaneers decided, hold my beer, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. It's my turn to go off. And he went for the 4 net touchdowns. You have any of them queued up?
I don't, but I do have this sweet video from Rob Gronkowski tagging Lombardi Lenny with a new nickname.
All right, I'm here on the runway, and I'm here next to Lombardi Lenny, but I think we have a name change. Well, Lenny, say hi first.
How you doing? How you doing?
Yes, I think we have a name change because he didn't just score 1 tutty, not just 2 tutties, not just 3 tutties, but 4 net amount of tutties, baby. Lenny, what do you think about your new name?
4 tutties. Or it's 4 net.
4 tutties, 4 net.
It must be so much fun being on the same team as Gronkowski, right?
Oh yeah,
like all the time. You have no clue what's coming out of that dude's mouth, and it's like I'm here for that.
Just constant partying, like party boy mentality. So here's a question, just because everyone last week was like, Jonathan Taylor, 5 touchdowns, put him in the MVP conversation. What about Lombardi Lenny?
No, not even close.
Right, but I mean,
Jonathan
Taylor, I think
Jonathan Taylor has been doing a lot more all season, right?
100%. He's been more consistent, and he does deserve to be in the MVP conversation. I'm just being kind of a bit of an idiot on it, where it's just like, well, like recency, he scored 4 touchdowns, so why not put him in the conversation, right? Because like nobody was talking about Jonathan Taylor in the MVP race until he did score those 5 touchdowns last week.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. Nobody was talking about him. Maybe as like a non-quarterback position player, you need something in your game to kind of be like, boom, I'm in the conversation, right? We went over this before, but he has 600-yard rushing games this season. He's scored a touchdown in every week except since week 3. I just think the guy's doing it all. And it's pretty sad that we haven't been talking about him in that MVP race all season, because he definitely deserves it. One thing you wanted to touch on was, the Colts taking the Bucs like right to the brink of, defeating them, a game that, maybe most people thought the Bucs had kind of in the bag. But I think that's a huge part of why Jonathan Taylor needs to be in the conversation. Is the Colts, if they were running this version of the Colts right from week 1, I think they're probably maybe in first in the AFC. that's how good they've been. And it all stems on the running game of Jonathan Taylor. Carson Wentz looks like old Carson Wentz when he was an MVP candidate. Like, I think all of that is stemming from Jonathan Taylor. And yeah, put him in the conversation race. Leonard Fournette can't really do it.
Yeah, I missed it. I missed the end of it because I had to go out. But apparently the Colts, or from what I was following on my apps and checking scores and things like that, is the Colts went ahead late, and then the Bucks took the lead, and then the Colts took the ensuing kickoff back to like the Buccaneers 35-yard line or something like that. Just couldn't quite seal the deal. So yeah, definitely took them right to the brink there, which, like you said, Carson Wentz seems to be, playing like he was the first overall draft pick, wasn't he?
No, he was number 2. Goff was 1.
Right. Okay. So yeah, so playing like a, top 2 draft pick should be playing. A first round quarterback should be playing. Wasn't able, really to put it together in Philadelphia for whatever reason, injuries and systems, talent, whatever you want to, whatever reason you want to give it. But yeah, he's resurrected. The Colts are probably number 2 in their division. I would have to look at the standings. Maybe tied with the Titans at this point.
No, they're not tied with them. Colts are 6-6. Titans are 8-4.
8-4. Okay,
but
yeah,
they're in that wild card race, right?
They're in the hunt. Yeah,
they're right there, and that's a dangerous team. We always talk about cold weather football. Establish that run. Well, I think their run game is the best in the league as of right now. Like, they're just, everything is dialed up for them. We talked about this the last couple of weeks, but are the Patriots for real?
They're looking more and more like it.
Yeah.
Right. They are now number 2 in the conference. In the entire AFC, they're the second ranked team, just behind the Ravens. So it's, they're ahead of the Bills. They beat the Titans today, which, I mean, you can say the Titans were shorthanded, dealing with injuries, dealing with this, dealing with that, yada, yada, yada. Every team's got excuses. The Ravens have a ton of injuries, and they're in first place in the conference. So, sorry, I don't think injuries are going to be good enough excuse to explain yourself. Yeah, man, they're for real. Mac Jones, like, everyone said it. I know I've mentioned this once or twice already on the podcast. Everyone said it. How dare you let Mac Jones fall to the Patriots at, what was it, like 14th overall or whatever it was? Like, and just proving that Belichick, I mean, he knows what the hell he's doing. They've got,
and they didn't have to trade up to get him too, right? Isn't that like the icing on the cake?
Yeah, and they've got an elite defense still, again, right? Like, J.C. Jackson is an absolute stud. And
Matt Judon is flying around that field.
Matt Judon's flying around. Kyle Van Noy is, drinking from the fountain of youth. Like, they have Adrian Phillips has been like phenomenal for them.
Yeah.
And then, it's, they're playing with a bunch of, it's so reminiscent of the early Tom Brady years, where it's just like, we have a great defense, and then we have kind of a bit of a no-name offense, where it's like, who are the wide receivers? Oh, like Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, and like cast-offs from other teams, and Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry are their 2 big name free agent signings, and they haven't really been that productive. And then their running backs, same thing. It's like, Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson and just like this ragtag group of guys on offense. And, Belichick just seems to have the guys, rallying together. Mac Jones is getting better and better as the season goes on. And I think, they're definitely a team to look out for in the AFC.
Yeah, they were doing this thing. I can't even remember what preview they were talking about. Maybe it was in the middle games or right before the Ravens game here was, who's the most complete team in the AFC? And it's hard to say that the Patriots are not. Like, Belichick is a defensive mastermind. He's got that defense playing at a high elite level. Their special teams is always deadly. And then two things about their offense. Mac Jones, yeah, he fell. He fell to them. They didn't have to trade up to get him. But the whole draft thing, the entire way through, all the pundits were saying this guy is the most NFL ready. So to me, it's very interesting at why we're so confused that he's doing well. Like, he's by far leading the offensive rookie of the year ballot right now. I don't even know if it's close, and everyone's just marveled at it. And I'm like, this guy was the most NFL ready quarterback coming into the year. He's proving that he can play in the NFL. And somehow we're still looking past him. On our Tuesday, that helps no one fantasy cast. We do sleepy starts and sleepy ads. And Mac Jones was my sleepy ad because nobody is adding this guy in fantasy football still. And it just goes to show that he's being overlooked. They're 6-0 in their last 6 games. They have scored 54, 27, 24, 45, 25, and 36 points. I don't know how many of those are because of defensive turnovers or defensive scores. It doesn't really matter. They're putting up points. That's the goal of football. In case we all forgot what the goal of football is, it's to put up more points than the other team. And they manhandled the Titans today, 36-13. The Ravens are in first in the AFC, but if you're anyone in the AFC, you do not want to be matched up against New England. Strong running game, strong defense. We just talked about that.
I mean, Mac Jones was when the 49ers traded up to the number 3 spot, everyone was saying it was going to be Mac Jones. And I will admit, I was one of those people that was like, oh, Mac Jones. Enjoy Mac Jones at 3rd overall, San Francisco. Like, you're going to regret that, blah, blah, blah. Thank God they didn't take him. Thank God they took Trey Lance and regretting that instead.
For this year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but yeah, it's just he looks really good.
We've got our first comment of the night from your wife on Facebook.
Can't see it, but it's a Santa emoji. So thank you, Nadine, for the Santa emoji. That didn't really come through that well. That's okay. Appreciate it.
It came through on the chat really nicely.
Yeah, it did. It's nice and colorful in the chat. So Steve and I appreciate it. But yeah, and just throw it out there, guys. If you want to join in on the chat like my wife just did, make sure you jump over on Facebook, Ballhawks Podcast. You can find us there, or join us live on YouTube. You can join in on the conversation, comment on the live stream. We'll see the chat come through. We can throw it up on the screen there. And if you have any questions for us, or if you want to talk football, fantasy football, again, Facebook, YouTube, come join us. But yeah, back to Mac Jones.
Also say if anyone's watching us live on Twitter right now, there is an issue with Twitter and Restream that your comments, we have no idea if you're commenting. So if you are commenting and you're like, oh, look at these losers not even getting to our comments, it's because we can't see them. Yeah. And if you go to Facebook or our YouTube, you will be able to comment like Chris's wife has. So join us there if you want to comment.
But emojis are difficult, so maybe don't do what my wife did.
You can still
love you. She's stomping on the ground, like, you jerk.
Take this.
Make my picture go crooked again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump into Sunday Night Football game because my heart is still racing. Shocker. I feel like at some point this season, it's going to go the other way, right? Like it has to go the other way that I'm just so used to being, nail biting, heart attack wrenching, stressful type football that it's going to go the other way. And, these tight games, it's just gonna brush off easily. So the Ravens did pull off a win Sunday Night Football against division rival the Browns, 16-10, like it says on the ticker there. This game was, the one word to describe it was just frustrating. Offensively, neither team could execute. Defensively, both teams did come to play. I will say that. One of my highlights of the game was I've talked about him quite a bit this season. Rookie pass rusher Odafe Owe. In the first half, he had a sack, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. He was all over the field. And for Ravens fans and for other people, you've heard me say it before. The reason why this guy dropped in the draft, to the late first round, was coming out of Penn State in his last year. He had 0 sacks, but his pressure rates were through the roof. Again, it just goes to show you that guys who disrupt the quarterback are so insanely valuable. And I love that we have this guy on a rookie contract for not 4 years, but 5 years, because he was a first round pick. So we have that extra optioned 5th year. There was a play in the first quarter that was the weirdest 3-play series I've ever seen in my life. Did you watch any of this, Chris?
I watched pretty well the whole thing. I may have missed what you were talking about because I was running out to pick up dinner.
Okay. So what happened was there was a 4th and 2 that happened, and the Ravens were going for it. And they go to sneak it, and they've got the sneak. They've got the first down, and it got called back. I put in all capitals. Why? Why? The refs placed the ball, and I guess they had made the call about the Ravens made an offensive change, so they needed to give the defense time to adjust. But usually the ref stands over the ball and doesn't let you do anything until the defense has had a chance to do their substitution. So I was really confused when all the refs and line judges were kind of in place. They snapped it, they went for it, and it got called back. So that's not where it gets weird. The Ravens try it again. They're like, fine, we're not even sneaking this one. We're just going to run a play. And they get the play called. It goes in. They snap the ball. They go to, clearly there's a lane that opens up like the Red Sea has parted. And the play got whistled down because Cleveland called a timeout. And so the home crowd Ravens are just losing their mind. And then, so after the Browns get a timeout, they put 12 men on the field again, and it gets called for, a 5-yard penalty, and the Ravens end up getting the first down. One of the wildest 3 non-play series on a 4th and 2 that I've ever seen. Super, super strange. Penalties were a huge issue in this game. At the end of the game, there's kind of 2 big penalties that really leaded to me being super frustrated. In the second half, I'll do this one first. The Ravens are.
Did you say leaded?
Did I say leaded?
You did.
What? When? Whatever. Stop Englishing me on live on air here, okay? I'm not at work. I can say whatever I want.
I could use whatever English I want.
Yeah, I mean, if I say the word, it exists, okay? So they're on the goal line, and Ravens offensive guard Kevin Zeitler has a penalty that comes back to bite this team. They end up kicking the field goal, and I wrote in there, these are the types of penalties that come back to bite a team late in the game. So frustrating. And then there was the whole Jarvis Landry play gets fumbled, turnover. 2 plays later, Lamar throws the ball away. Just lots of sloppy kind of throwing of the ball away. The other penalty that really could have, made an impact on the game, luckily it didn't. I tweeted it at the end of the game. Ben Powers gets called for a hold, and it stops the clock and pushes them back 10 yards on first down. So it's 1st and 20. They don't get the first down by a chunk of yards, and they send Tucker out there. I think there was still like a minute left after it. Luckily, this guy here is the GOAT. This guy just, what a weapon to have on your team where, if he misses that field goal, they're up by 3 points and the Browns have the ball back at midfield with a minute left to go. This game is easily going into overtime, most likely. So penalties just at the most inopportune times are biting the Ravens right now, and that's super frustrating. But good thing they have the greatest kicker ever. Before, I'll get out of the way. Lamar sucked today. You can't throw 4 interceptions and expect to win a game. There was something I saw on Twitter today that just before we jumped on here, Lamar Jackson is the first quarterback to win a game while throwing 4 interceptions since 2013. Prior to Sunday, quarterbacks had lost 41 straight games. It makes sense. We always talk about, there's a cliche around the league that, you got to win the turnover battle. And Lamar just was not on. There was a pick where, it kind of bounced off one guy's hands and like right to a defender. Defender makes a great play. But then there was just like boneheaded plays where he throws inside as Andrews is breaking out outside. And you're like, why? Why are you throwing that ball when you throw it? So, he's going to be the first to say, that's on me. I've got to be better. But he really does have to be better. He's had a couple games where he just hasn't been himself lately. Obviously, last game he didn't play because of that illness. Who knows how much of that is carrying over? But the game before that was in Miami. He had an all right game, nothing, MVP level. So, this team clearly lives and dies by Lamar Jackson. So he definitely has to be a lot better than that. I know he's going to be pissed off with that game. Let it fire you up. Let it get you going. You've got Pittsburgh next week. The last point about the game I want to make is the defense. I said at the start here, they came to play. Oh my goodness, did they come to play? The Cleveland Browns' number 1 rushing attack got shut down bad. Kareem Hunt had 20 yards on 7 carries. Nick Chubb had 16 yards on 8 carries. Baker had 4 yards on 2 carries. They got nothing going, and that is a powerful running attack. I was so excited to see them shut that run down because Cleveland really struggles when they can't establish their run. Now,
Tyus,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to jump in.
Yeah.
Tyus Bowser was flying tonight.
Him and Odafe Owe were just everywhere. Hey,
he was absolutely like I noticed him more than I did Owe. He was just all over the field, involved in everything. This is the guy that in the offseason you were happy they re-signed because you were touting him as their off-ball linebacker, and he was absolutely everywhere tonight.
It's a good point. It's one of those things where when you put money into a guy, you're okay if that guy plays up to his money. And, games like this, he was a difference maker. If you're going to get paid, you have to be a difference maker. And he absolutely was. One last thing about this. Everyone in the Ravens flockland knew this before it happened, but here's the Browns schedule. They played the Ravens today. They then get a bye while the Ravens play the Steelers. Not a cakewalk, probably their most physical game of the year. after that bye, who do they play? The Ravens again. So they got the Ravens. They're going to have 2 full weeks to prepare for the team that they just lost to. So this is going to be, like, in my opinion, the ultimate test of what this Ravens team is. They've got a tough Pittsburgh Steelers game that they got to go to. And then they have to play a team that's had a few weeks to prep for them. And it's like fresh in their mind who they are and what they like to do. So this is a tough schedule, and just really happy this team found a way to win this game. Is it 8-3, first place in the AFC. Now, Chris, we're on to you.
Yeah, I just want to also say Jadeveon Clowney was flying around for the Browns tonight. Yeah. And like, even Collinsworth and Tirico kept commenting like how frustrated he must be because he just could not get Lamar Jackson down tonight and was definitely getting frustrated. Myles Garrett is an absolute beast of a human being. To be that fast and that athletic and that agile, and to be when you're that size is ridiculous. It was an ugly game for sure. The last 2 minutes of the first half was turnover central. Super ugly, but like you said, your boys pulled off the victory. Doesn't have to be pretty, just have to pull off the win, right? And on to my Seahawks, who have not yet played in week 12 because they have the Monday Night Football game next tomorrow. The Seahawks are going up against the Washington football team at FedEx Field in Washington tomorrow. So they're on the road, which the Seahawks Instagram account posted something that
a little bit of technical difficulties here, peeps.
Yeah, sorry guys.
This is Chris's first time on the podcast.
My kids are definitely playing with my microphone for sure. Anyways, any better?
Yeah, you're a little bit better.
All right. Anyways, the Seahawks are wearing all white tomorrow night in Washington, which I don't remember the last time the Seahawks wore their white pants. They've usually mixed their white pant or their white jerseys with their gray pants or their blue pants. So all white tomorrow is a bit of a change up, which whatever. I'm a jersey nerd, so I like that sort of stuff. Most people are probably like, whatever, Chris, like, who cares? Just more grass stains or whatever.
Something fun about the jersey choices, though.
I love it, right? Like you and I mean, we worked at a jersey retail store for how many years? I can't help but still, even all these years later that I haven't been in that job, I love jerseys, and I love the combination of jerseys. I love tonight how Baltimore wore all black. And not just that, but they painted their end zones black. They're normally purple, but they painted them black for the game today. So like just those little nuances that I don't know, the nerd fan in me really clings on to and really loves that sort of stuff. Tomorrow night against Washington, probably a big game as far as like wild card positioning goes. So if Seattle does win tomorrow, they would be 4-7, and believe it or not, only one game back of the final wild card position. So they're not dead yet, folks. They're not dead yet. And DK Metcalf tweeted the other day, I think he said like it was like 7 in a row or something like that, or like 7 more, or something to that regard. So obviously the Seahawks know what position they're in. The players know, how deep they've dug their own grave, so to speak. So it is definitely a big game. I'm looking forward to it. I would really like to do a Monday night quickie after the game tomorrow night, but I don't know if I'll be able to because I work when the game starts. After work, I have to go to physio. So by the time I get home, I'm going to be way behind on the Seahawks game. So a Monday night quickie may not happen. And if it does, it might just be me because Steve will be sleeping by the time I'm done the game.
Sleepy. I was just looking here. The Seahawks are technically second to last in the NFC. Isn't that wild that they still have a chance, and the only team that they're better than in the NFC are the Detroit Lions with 0 wins? Like, that's how tight that division is, that the Vikings at 5-6 are in a playoff spot. And I just like DK's attitude there. We kind of ragged on him a little bit for, having to be the biggest, toughest, guy on the field, but he's a competitor and he gets it. And guess what? If the Patriots can win 6 in a row, why can't the Seahawks win 6 in a row? Why not us?
Exactly. I was just gonna say, as Russell Wilson says, why not you? He's got a foundation, the Why Not You Foundation. So why not you? I mean, the Seahawks are, Russell Wilson does have to play better. He hasn't played well since coming back from his finger injury. The offensive line needs to protect better. Huge question marks surrounding the running game. Chris Carson's on IR, probably not coming back for this year. Probably not coming back. It's pretty, neck things. I mean, we saw it end Cam Chancellor's career. We saw it end Cliff Avrill's career. So definitely a lot of question marks there. Rashad Penny's hurt again. Shocker. Had 1 touch last week, carry for 18 yards, hurt his hamstring, and Pete is talking about him ending up back on IR. So whatever. Alex Collins, like I said, Alex Collins hasn't been the same since that Pittsburgh game. He's definitely battling something. He's a little bit banged up. Travis Homer is out, who's probably our best pass blocking running back. So we have Alex Collins, DJ Dallas, and undrafted rookie free agent Josh Johnson. Which Josh Johnson is the guy that I'm most excited to see. I really hope he gets some play time and they let him, touch the ball, just to see what they have in him. Yeah. He hasn't played yet this year. Activate him from the practice squad, let him play, let him get on the field. Defensive wise, it sounds like DJ Reed should be back for this game, which is very, very good because Trey Brown has gone on IR. Trey Brown's done for the year. He tore, it's super crappy. Started the season on IR with I think a hamstring, and then last week injured his patellar tendon. So he's already got surgery. He's already rehabbing and doing what he needs to do to get back for next year. But it super sucks. It's he was looking phenomenal in the 2 or 3 games that he had played. He was looking especially for a guy of his size, looking like a shutdown corner. They have activated Nigel Warrior off of IR. So I'm excited to see what he brings to the field. And, if he can maybe step in as a number 2 or number 3 defensive back. Sidney Jones looked pretty good last week. So we'll see how everything shakes out with, with injuries and, guys playing for the first time this season and practice squad players getting activated and all those, interesting roster combinations that we're going to see. Damian Lewis is out this week, our starting left guard, so that sucks. Jamarco Jones is out. Yeah, so it's just pile on, but whatever. I mean, those are all excuses. Get on the field and go win the game. The Washington football team doesn't have Chase Young either, right? They don't have their best defensive players, so
it's not like Washington is this, top seed in the NFC or AFC or anything like that. Like, they have one more win than the Seahawks. This is a game where, I hate to say it, but if you're in the basement, you want to start off with winning against a basement team get some confidence back and just start rolling W's together, I guess.
Yep. And last thing on my Seahawks, tomorrow is Russell Wilson's birthday.
Really?
So happy birthday to Russell Wilson. I think it's his first time playing in his professional career playing on his birthday. So hopefully he can go into Washington and beat the football team. And also, I don't know if he's still watching. He keeps texting me that he doesn't know how to log in to join in on the chat, but I guess even though he's a Cowboys fan, happy birthday to my Uncle Ron as well, because it's his birthday tomorrow too.
He shares a birthday with Russ.
He does. He should really be a Seahawks fan because of that, right?
The only reason.
Yeah.
Birthday samesies.
Birthday samesies. Come on over. We would love to, get rid of all of your blue and white and replace it with blue and green.
It's not even that big of a change, right? It's kind of just like it's
just one
a
color, man.
Change, right?
Yes, just one color, dude. Like, come on,
easy
get
as
off
that
it already. So, yeah, that's it on my Seahawks. Like I said, maybe I'll jump on and maybe if Steve's awake, we'll do it together. Or maybe I'll jump on and do a solo quickie. Pretty good at those.
Wow.
After I'm finished watching the Monday night game tomorrow night, like I said, it's going to be late. My physio isn't till 6:45, so I'm not probably out of there till 7:30. So, don't hurt yourself, folks. Physio sucks.
Part of getting old.
Okay.
All the time.
Yeah, don't get old, because once I turn 35, it's just like one thing after another.
Just for anyone who's not up there yet, myself included, it does not take 35 to feel like you're at least in your 60s or 70s. So
no, totally, but like it seems like since I turned 35, it's been one thing after another. It was just like, oh, like I hurt my shoulder playing soccer, I have to go to physio. Like, oh, I hurt my back playing soccer. Like, oh, what's going on? Like, it's just been things that have been bugging me for years and years. All of a sudden at 35, they're like, hey, it's worse now.
Take that.
Don't get old.
Take that, body.
Stop it.
All right. We're doing pretty good for time here. Let's we kind of jumped on a little late here, so that this will be nice for my Monday morning not being so sleepy. It's everyone's favorite time of the week of anything they do, really. Maybe their favorite other than football, but also probably just their favorite. It is our third down segment, brought to you by Bad Tattoo Brewing in Kelowna. What you got for us this week, Chris?
Yes, another week of the third down. And of course, the third down, as Steve mentioned, is presented by Bad Tattoo Kelowna. Be sure to go sign up for the Bad Tattoo Beer Club at badtattoobrewing.com. I just got a text from my uncle. He missed his shout out because he was too busy trying to figure out if he signed in or not.
Well, good thing there's always a replay on. Good.
Old people problems. Anyways, the Bad Tattoo Beer Club, like I said, at badtattoobrewing.com. Go sign up today. They will ship beer to you anywhere in Canada, right to your doorstep. 24 tall boys of the finest BC craft beer shipped directly to you. And I just got the email earlier today, which I know Steve also got this email about the No Cows Oat Milk Stout. So this is a
peeps
milk stout that was brewed with oat milk. So all of you dairy-free friends can enjoy this stout just like the rest of us. I haven't placed my order yet. Steve and I will discuss it off air if we're splitting the case on that one. If not, I mean, we'll definitely be going down to Bad Tattoo Kelowna to pick it up locally. But I highly recommend, if you are a stout drinker, you're not going to want to miss out on this one. Go sign up, badtattoobrewing.com. Get that shipped directly to your doorstep.
Now, the other one I want to mention, you sent me this. I want to say it's on Instagram. Was that right? It's on Instagram. I've never actually seen. That's how old I am. I've never actually seen Instagram. I've heard lots of great things about it, and if there's ever an Instagram post from the Ballhawks account, you know who to blame. Full disclosure, you sent me this Sundays at Bad Tattoo Kelowna. You're gonna get football on their new TVs. They got what, 6? I'm trying to do the quick count in my head. Something like that. You're gonna have football on Sundays. You're gonna have great craft beer, tons to choose from, and they have buy one get one large pizzas. You and I have been plugging these pizzas since before we partnered up with them. Their pizzas are so good, peeps. And we have been talking about, if there's anything better than Sunday football, pizza, and beer, I don't want to live in that world where there's something, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something better. I still haven't figured it out. Definitely go down, watch a game, bring some friends, enjoy a pizza or two, because you're going to get one for free, and some football and some beer. What do you have for the third down for me, Chris?
Oh yeah, we still have a third down to do, don't we?
Oh yeah, we didn't just finish it there.
Where am I again? What am I doing? I can't see my name. Who am I? What am I doing?
What am I doing with my hands here?
What am I doing here? So a couple weeks ago, we did on the third down, Battle of the 90s cartoons, I guess we'll call them. And I got called out by one of our listeners for how young we are.
Oh,
so I just want to, yeah. Yeah. Here we are complaining about how old we feel, and I got called out by one of our listeners for how young we appear to be, I guess. So I just wanted to prove to this listener that, going on a little limb here, because I know I watched most of these cartoons, so I hope you did here, or you did as well, that we're going to do a battle of some of the 80s cartoons, which some of these did make their way into the 90s, and if not, they definitely were on syndication, and I'm positive that you've seen most of these. There may be one that you haven't seen, but we're hoping for the best here. 80s cartoons. I'm going to tell you what I like. Steve, are you ready?
We're going on a limb here because, well, I am younger than you, but I'm always ready for this. Let's do it.
It's 1 year, god damn it. Anyways, first matchup, we have DuckTales, the original DuckTales, not the remake that recently came out, versus Inspector Gadget. So, well, which one are you?
We're 2 for 2. I've seen both of them.
Perfect.
That's
better be quick, because this matchup is going to self-destruct in 5 seconds.
This is actually a tough one for me. I did watch a lot of Inspector Gadget. I would say less DuckTales, but one of my favorite childhood memories, around Christmas time, actually, Santa brought me a Darkwing Duck action figure, if you will, and I played with that thing forever. Like I might even still have it somewhere.
He played with that other thing, folks. He played with that thing.
Yeah, with the action figure, peeps. I was like 6 at the time. I mean, maybe I played with that other thing also, but I didn't really know what was going on there.
I don't know what's happening. This feels good, but I don't know.
What is this?
Oh, God. Anyone who has young sons totally understands that right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I can only imagine. I was like every other boy, and like, get your hands out of your pants. Like, what are you doing?
All the time, I'm like, buddy, do you have to go pee? No. I'm like, just checking to make sure it's still there. Like,
hasn't fallen off yet. All
yeah.
right. So I kind of am leading to Darkwing Duck, but
it's not Darkwing Duck. It's DuckTales.
Or DuckTales, whatever. But I'm going with Inspector Gadget. I watched a lot of that, and I loved how clueless that guy was. Like, he just made the rest of us real, like, dough-headed people, believe we could do something good in life. So I'm going with Inspector Gadget on this one.
I think that's a great choice. I loved Inspector Gadget. It was like one of those shows that, like, you would watch it as a kid, but like wouldn't necessarily understand it, but you would still just laugh because he's such a bonehead.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciated it. And, like I just said, I'm just looking right now. Inspector Gadget actually ended before either one of us was born.
Really?
Yeah, it ended in 1985. So we were watching that on syndication the whole time.
Maybe that's not proving our point that we are young. Maybe we are super young.
Yeah, exactly. But like, just like I said, when I gave you this matchup, it's like this matchup is going to just self-destruct in 5 seconds. Like that was one of those like running gags on that show that everyone always remembers and appreciates. Like, you were like, oh, he just read the note, it's going to self-destruct soon. Like, so yeah, definitely loved that show. They tried to do that live action movie in the late 90s, which was, I never watched it, but I'm probably, thankful that I didn't. Next matchup, we have the Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers versus the Care Bears.
Oh, and what? No song for Care Bears, or
I don't have a song for like 5, 4, 3, 2.
There's the Care Bears countdown, you dummy.
Yeah, well, would you please give me the Care Bears
show?
It's been a long time.
Care Bears countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Maybe I'm wrong.
Something like that.
This is a tough one. I didn't really like the Chip and Dale. I just never really watched a lot of it. I don't know if I didn't like appreciate it, or maybe I feel like a lot of these 80s cartoons, if it wasn't on the time that I was watching TV, I just wouldn't have watched it. So maybe that's like what's skewing my memories. I liked the Care Bears countdown. I think it's such a unique cartoon in terms of like, there's so much hate in the world right now. There's so much negativity that you've just got like these bears that just want to like shine different traits of positivity on people. And they shoot these things out of their little fat little bellies and just like, they kill you with kindness. Literally, they defeat their enemies with like different forms of kindness. So I'm going, and when I was really young, I don't even know. I probably wasn't even that young. Exposing myself a bit here. I had a Care Bears.
Do that live on air.
Whatever. I don't care. There's enough going against me right now. I had a blanket. It was like my blankie, if you will, as a little kid, and I had a Care Bears blanket, and I went everywhere with that blanket. So I'm picking Care Bears.
It is a good choice. As a younger child, I watched the crap out of Care Bears. Yeah. I know that for a fact, but as I got older, I started to watch more and more Chip and Dale's, which again was probably syndication, which, fun fact, Disney is actually making a Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, I guess, live action movie next year. So keep an eye out for that on Disney Plus. Hashtag no free shoutouts, apparently. So this is where I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this next matchup. This is where I think things go off the rails. He-Man versus Transformers.
Well, I'm stuck picking one of them. And even at that, I'm regrettably picking that. I don't know if I've ever watched He-Man. Maybe I watched it and I just don't remember. Transformers, I barely watched Transformers. I was not into Transformers. Even when the new movies came out, I have still never watched a full movie of any of the Transformers. In the first one, there's a spot. I don't know what it is. I fall asleep very easily in movies. Like, it can be my favorite movie of all time. I'll just fall asleep during movies. I was like that as a kid. There's a spot in Transformers 1 where I can't even remember where it is now because I've just given up trying to watch it. I fell asleep at the same scene every damn time. I quit. I just quit. So I regrettably have to choose Transformers here, and I don't want to do that. I knew that was coming, and I was like, please pair it with something else so I can like take an L because everyone's gonna be Transformers are the best. I have to pick it.
To be fully transparent here, that would have been the one matchup that I also would have been lost on. Like, He-Man, definitely. I can't recall ever watching He-Man. Transformers, I'm sure I've seen a few, but like for me, Transformers is more what was it? Transformers Beast Wars, I think it was called when we were kids, where like they were animals and then they would transform or whatever. Anyways, I knew that's where things were going off the rails. I was worried about that matchup because even for that matchup for myself, I was like, but then like for all the older generation, if I didn't include He-Man and Transformers, I probably would have been crapped on for that too. So last matchup we have here, we have Smurfs, and I'm kind of throwing the Smurfs to the wolves here because I'm pairing them up against Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I mean, the Smurfs are cool because if they're blue, like they've got this niche kind of thing, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where I was born and raised, was like the go-to thing. Everyone wanted to be a Ninja Turtle. You definitely threw the Smurfs to the wolves on this one, or to the Turtles. Easy pick. I mean, did the Smurfs ever have like an NES game that was made about them? Because the Ninja Turtles did, and it was awesome. That was a fun game. We played that thing into like the little plastic game might have actually melted. We played that one so much.
I just got a text message from my Uncle Ron. I never bought you a He-Man toy, but I seem to recall buying a poop load of Transformers.
Whoops.
I censored myself on that one, but yeah, like I said, I knew I was throwing Smurfs to the wolves here. I was like, who do I throw TMNT against? It's like Ghostbusters, maybe.
You know what? I'm surprised you didn't put Ghostbusters in there. That one I thought was going to be the heavyweight match. I loved Ghostbusters.
The real Ghostbusters.
The real Ghostbusters. Wasn't Garfield also like in the 80s? Maybe I'm in the wrong decade. Garfield maybe. What about, here's the one that I'm okay.
Garfield
I don't
started in 88, so that's a good call. Yeah. Garfield was a big one for sure in my childhood. I watched the crap out of Garfield.
So this is where I thought you were going with the heavyweight matchup before we get to like any picks or anything like that. And again, I'm 99% sure it was in the 80s. Did you forget to put G.I. Joe in?
I did.
Oh my goodness, Chris.
I did.
Wow.
I did.
You forgot Garfield, you forgot G.I. Joe, and you forgot Ghostbusters.
Well, I didn't forget Ghostbusters. I knew it was there. I just didn't include it.
I'm not gonna lie, this might be the first time ever in the Third Down movie portions of it where you're getting roasted by me. doesn't.
Do you remember which? I just checked, and this actually isn't an 80s cartoon. It's like way earlier than that. But I remember watching it a ton as a kid. Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Never watched a ton of it. I remember watching a little bit of it, but not a whole lot of it.
Okay. Yeah. Or you know what would have been probably another good one is what about Popeye?
Ooh, Popeye must be earlier than that. I
Yeah,
bet.
Popeye's earlier than that. But again, I watched a lot of it as a kid and syndication and like Woody the Woodpecker and all those good ones. But yeah, it I didn't include Ghostbusters. I didn't include Beetlejuice was another big one that I loved as a kid. The Beetlejuice cartoon. I had a lot of the toys and all those good things. But quick recap here. I just got another text. You had Ninja Turtles sheets. Obsessed. Yes, I was.
Still do.
Yeah, I was obsessed. Like me and my brothers, we were all obsessed with Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters. It was like Ninja Turtle sheets and like sleeping bags and pajamas and same thing with like Ghostbusters. Actually, my kids, my parents still had the sleeping bags from when I was a kid. So now Carter and Olivia have my old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and real Ghostbusters sleeping bags,
Nice.
which is pretty cool. I have the original Ninja Turtles cartoon series, like the entire series on DVD, which I definitely need to watch with the kids. Just haven't got around to it yet because there's endless things to watch on Disney Plus. But quick recap here, Steve. You have Inspector Gadget, Care Bears, Transformers, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who is your MVP?
I mean, I feel like you set this one up. You set this one up for such an easy slam dunk. Part of me wants to be a jerk anyways and just not take Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but guess what? I can't do that because it was that great. Like I said, they made a Super Nintendo game about it. It was that good. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, best 80s cartoon around.
Like
for the win.
Video games, 3 live action movies, plus the 2 more recent movies, plus all the countless toys, the action figures, the turtle van, just so like that was a like I don't know if you've watched it, but the it's called The Toys That Made Us on Netflix, and it's about the Ninja Turtle toys. Pretty fun to watch for sure.
Sweet.
Just to see how like the marketing of it all worked and what have you. But Steve, I've got some news for you, dude. I have no other option but to give you the first down this week. I have to because no matter what, it doesn't matter what I paired Ninja Turtles against. Even if I paired Ninja Turtles against Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, any other 80s cartoon, the Ninja Turtles cartoon is the cartoon of the 80s. And anyone that says He-Man or Transformers, get out of here, you old man. Ninja Turtles was it.
You're getting a for sure text for that one. Like, what do you mean I'm an old man? I can't even log in. But I can hear it just fine.
I just got another text message from my Uncle Terry, the Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He goes, pretty sure Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, Daffy Duck, Yosemite Sam, and Marvin the Martian were 80s, right? Which that's a great question, and I'm actually going to check that right now for Looney Tunes, because Looney Tunes would have been another. Yeah, it would have been.
I thought they were earlier than that.
The Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes Comedy Hour started in 1980. No, that wouldn't have been it. That's a good call though. Looney Tunes would have been another heavy. That actually would have been a really good heavyweight matchup against Ninja Turtles, just for longevity purposes.
Yeah,
he says probably 70s. Either way. 70s. That would have been, if I had done my research properly and actually sourced out some older people, maybe I would have been able to put up some more heavyweight matchups for Steve to make him really go, oh man, like how do I choose?
Next time we go into the decades before we're born, we'll call the seniors of the Ballhawks pod up for a little intel.
Uncle Terry says, I'm just pretending to be young. Man. Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. Us too. I remember when I was young. But yeah, Looney Tunes would have been fun, a fun one for sure. Olivia started to get into Looney Tunes a little bit. You can watch some old episodes on Prime, I think it is, or something like that. I don't know, but she thinks it's pretty funny. So
yeah.
Anyways, man, we just made history, and I gave you the first down.
And I threw a taunt in there too, so I'm not sure if like they have like a 15-yard penalty next episode. I don't know. I don't care. Don't care.
You're gonna pay for the next week.
First down in 40 episodes, you taunt it until it's blue in the face. So
that's right.
I just tweeted it. So yeah, that's all we have on the agenda for today. Thanks to you for tuning in live with us. I know it was a little later today. Obviously, when our teams are playing in the Sunday nighter, we kind of jump on just after the game. Really fun episode, and I will leave you with the last words like I usually do.
Well, good news for you guys. The Seahawks got flexed out of Sunday Night Football next week, so you don't have to worry about us jumping on here too late next week. We should be at our regular scheduled time of 8:15. Keep an eye on Twitter at ballhawks_pod. We should, hopefully, maybe, if we're not too busy, throw something on there saying that we are going to go live. But always keep an eye out Sunday nights. We are going to go live at some point, whether it be 8:15, whether it be later. We are going to go live on here, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube. You can find us at ballhawks_pod. Be sure to follow Steve at ssfisher87. You can find me on Twitter at phillipschris12. Again, we are the Ballhawks podcast presented by the Dean Blundell Network. Thank you again to our third down segment sponsor, the Bad Tattoo Brewing in Kelowna. And as always, guys, big game tomorrow. Go Hawks.
Peace.